Once again, warm-up number 45 is very similar to the ones we've been doing so far. So number 1, complete the square and factor. We have x squared plus 10x. That should be a piece of cake by now. Number 2, it says simplify. We got part A says square root of negative 81. Part B is 7 over square root of 11. Number 2C is square root of 30. There, number 3, factor by grouping. We got x squared minus 7x minus 18. And number 4 says find the inverse function f inverse of x for the given function f of x. And the given function is f of x equals 5x minus 2. So, check with the neighbor, see what they got for all those 4. By now they should be able to get those by themselves. Go ahead and do that. Copy and go. So the answers are on the screen. Double check your work, guys, for each of those. And this is read f inverse of x. F inverse of x. Okay? My goodness. All right, agenda for today. Here we go. Warm-up number 45. Today we're still on transformations of functions. And today, home play, you only have 5 transformations, itty-bitty ones. 5 transformations. Today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. And today we finish with this intro to the parameters. Yes. All right, Nearpod code LXUTS, LXUTS, and that's where you can go on Nearpod to get your home play. All right, and your home play from last night, bless you, was only 5 transformations, so go ahead and take a picture, submit that on Canvas, please, at this time. And as soon as you're done, make sure you go and grab a graph paper from over there and get a Cornell note going. Tonight's home play is on the screen. For those of you watching online, you can pause the video and copy those. You can practice. You can practice. Unless you're like Allen Iverson. Does everybody know about Allen Iverson? Yeah. It was like practice. Practice? We're talking about practice? Yes. Practice. Alright. I'll give you some time for that. Copy that. And here's the objective. Do this. Alright, so our objective for today, I can transform a function using different parameters. So we're still on transformations, okay? And so, do we need a Fourier model? No. And we know what functions are. And then we got to this one yesterday, is that correct? Yes. Then we did this one, yes. So look at this one, don't copy it. Look up to the screen. So I'm giving you these parameters, and according to this general rule, tell your neighbor what would happen to the graph according to these parameters, please. Talk it over to your neighbor, please. Alright, let's see. I think Brooks got this, yeah? So what do you think, Brooke? What's going to happen to our graph according to those parameters? going to stretch vertically and then move down 5 steps. Hands, have you got that? Yes? Okay. All right. So, today we're going to look at something different that looks like this. So on your graph paper, copy this graph, please. -2, -8, -1, -1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 8. And it says the graph of f of x equals x cubed is shown. Graph g of x equals f of 1/2 x. So they want us to do that transformation. We'll copy that first, and I'll give you some time for that. So, they give us the cubic function, there it is, okay, and they're asking us to do a transformation. Okay, so here we go. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the table for the original function. And as I mentioned before, anytime that you're doing transformations, try to, if they give you a graph or you're graphing a parent function, which is like this one, make a table just so that you are clear of the values that they are giving you. So here it goes. This is f of x. Okay, so then we got -2. -2, what is the y value? That's -8. Or how do we get that? -2 times -2 times -2, that's -8. Then -1, -1, which is right there. Or how do we get that value? We take -1 times itself 3 times, that gives us -1. 0, 0, 1, 1, and 2, 8. So those are the points given, yes? There they are. Okay. Alright, so today they give us a different transformation. Now, question. Is this A? No, A is supposed to be over here. Is this H? No, H needs to be next to the X right there. Is this K? No. So totally different. However, one thing to mention, look up. If you're looking at f of x, okay, f of x, what is an invisible number here next to the x? 1. Okay, which means, look at here, don't we still have that 1 right there? Yes. So what is today's introduction to? A denominator, which is this number right there. Not a fraction, but a denominator. Because we already have the 1 here, right? So we're just introducing a denominator of 2 for right now. So, if that's true, then I need a table to see what's going to happen to my original function. So copy this, please. We got x. Let me erase this. And then I got f 1/2 x. Since this is being a transformation of a cubic, what do I need to put outside the parentheses? A cube. Okay. There we go. -2. Now look what I'm going to do. Since the x is already there, but it has a number now inside with x, that means I'm going to substitute the value of x in there. I'm going to rewrite this so you can see what I'm going to do. Yes? Here it goes. f 1/2 times x, which is what? -2. And then I'm going to do what? Cube it. Write that down, please. And I'm going to zoom in just so that we can see the work. So let's see. What is 1/2 of -2? -1, yes? What is -1 cubed? -1, yes. Alright, let me extend this like this, okay. Let's do the next one. -1. We got f 1/2 times -1 now, and we're going to cube it. All right. So, what is half of -1? -1/2. But then we're going to cube it. You're like, oh, okay. It's still negative. What is 1 times 1 times 1? 1. What is 2 times 2 times 2? 8. Let's do the next one. 0. And just to save time, it's going to be what? 0. Okay. 1. We got f of 1/2 times 1 cubed, which is 1/2 cubed, which is what? 1/8. Yes. And the last one, 2. We got f 1/2 times 2 cubed, which is 1 cubed, which is what? Okay? Alright. So we're going to graph using these values. So this is my first one is -2, -1. Then the next one is -1 and -1/8. Then 0, 0. And then 1, 1/8. And 2 and 1. You're like, oh man, those are little numbers. I know. Here you go. So I'm going to zoom in now. Zoom out, sorry. Alright, so let's plot those points. We got -2, -1, -2, -1, -1, -1/8, which is close to the x-axis, 0, 0, 1, 1/8, also very close to the x-axis, and 2, 1. Okay, so all right, so let's see. So yesterday we talked about A that stretches vertically or compresses vertically, yes? All right. Look at this one. If you were to tell your neighbor, talk to your neighbor, here's the original, what would be a word that you say that happened now to that function, according to that number we substitute? Talk to your neighbor, see what happened. All right, let's see. Noor, what happened? Rotated, okay. That's the word, yes. Let's see. Help them out, Drina. You said stretch or squished? Squished. Okay, I'll take squished, but the correct term is stretched. However, instead of stretching vertically, now it's stretched horizontally. You guys see it? You're like, oh, now that you say it like that, Mr. Q, okay? So here we go. Look up to the screen. So we just found out that this denominator stretched it horizontally. So if I was to write it without that number, g of x equals f of question. What would I have to substitute in here to make it compress horizontally? Talk it over to your neighbor. What would I need to substitute in there to make it compress horizontally. And we're talking about the denominator, right? Yes. What do I need to substitute in there to make it compress horizontally? Let's see. Very good conversations. I see you guys weren't completely engaged. Lewis, what do you think? What shall we do? A what?
3.
A 3. Okay, so this is a 2. A 3 will stretch it a little bit more. Okay. A 1 over 1 makes it the original. And 0, it's undefined, so we can't substitute 0. Close. Lexi? What is it? A fraction, or yes. So let's say I substituted a 1/2 in there. Yes, that's going to compress it horizontally. Let's think about A. Whole number for A, it stretched it vertically. Fraction, it what? Compressed it vertically. What kind of number is 2? It's a whole number. It stretches it horizontally. That means a fraction or decimal is going to compress it. Now, can we leave it like this? No, we would have to rewrite it, and we'll get to that as soon as we can. Okay? So let's finalize this idea. Let's add that to our general form, yes? Look how beautiful it's going to look now. Look at that. Copy that, please. G of... so we're like, no. G of x equals a times f of, parentheses, 1 over b, x minus h, close parentheses, plus k. Alright, and as you're copying that, start drawing your arrows on the ones that you know where it's going to move directionally and with your pluses and minuses. All right, so let's see. Where's k going to move? Up and down. So if we're going up, we substitute a positive value. If we're going down, we substitute a negative value. That is correct. H. Left and right. So if we want to go right, we substitute a positive value. If we want to go left, we substitute a negative value. That is correct. Okay. A. What does it do? It stretches. If it's a what? Whole number. Or compresses. If it's a fraction or decimal. But in which direction? Vertically, yes?
Yes, I think you.
Which means that B does what? The same, but except for horizontally, yes? This is stretch. If it's a whole number. Or compress if it's a fraction or decimal. And this is horizontally. Yes? How are we doing? Okay. Next. Y'all ready? Check this out. So, now that we know all the components, now that we know all of them, let's see how well we do with the next activity. The next one, you don't require to take any notes. Writing utensils down, look up to the screen. I want to see how you do with your how your noodle is doing. Ready? Here we go. Let's say I gave you that graph on the screen, which is a quadratic. Don't copy that. This is our general form. There it is. And I want you guys to do the transformation to this one according to parameter A equal to -1. You're like, oh. Talk to your neighbor, let them know what's going to happen to that function according to A equals -1. Talk to your neighbor, please. Is that what you're doing? Alright, I think Saul got it. Saul, what's going to happen? Okay, we said that A stretches or compresses if it's a whole number. However, if it's 1, do we really see the 1? That means that's the way it is? Okay, the only thing that we need to worry about now, therefore, is that negative, yes? Alright, so, how about with that negative? What's going to happen? Breathe. Okay? Carlos. It's going to flip. That is correct. According to what we have in front of us, since this is a negative, and let me just recap yesterday's notes. I said, when it's like this, it's a what? Positive. If it's like this, it's a what? Negative. Is this a negative? Yes? Yes? That means I put a negative right there. It's going to do that. Man, Carlos in the house. Let's go. Alright, so let's go to the next one. Let's see. Tell me there what's going to happen with that. Going to stretch, yes? Okay. This one. Compress vertically. Okay. This one. Say here what's going to happen if I substitute in the B a 2. Yeah, I heard stretch horizontally, right? We can get this and then all of a sudden expand it like this. If you can picture it, then it looks something like, let's see. It would look something like, we get this like that, stretch it, so it's going to go something like that. Yeah? Yeah? Okay. I'm not exact with the points, but I'm trying to be exaggerated so you can see the stretch horizontally. Saying here what's going to happen when H is 5. H is 5. Sky, what's going to happen? It's going to go to the right, 5 steps. That is correct. And here, what's going to happen to the graph for that one? Natalia? 7 to the left, yes. How about this one, Philip? Yeah. Down 7, that is correct. Good save. Thank you, Andy. Go to the next one. Yeah, pick some. Raymond. Up 3. That is correct. How about that one? Pass someone, Raymond. Brooke. It's gonna compress, yes. Vertically. All right. I think we got this, yeah? How about, let's see. How about everyone to the right? Discuss with me all the different transformations for that. Go. All right, let's see. Let's get started with this one. Sky, what is A going to do? Upside down or flip, yes. How about B? Pamela. Stretch horizontally, that is correct. How about H? Rachel. Left, 5 steps, and K, everyone? 6 up, yes. Oh, from 1 to 5, how comfortable are you guys with this, yeah? Yeah, we're ready for tomorrow, right? Yeah? Yeah? What do I mean tomorrow? Oh, it's confidential. Let's move on to the next one. All right, copy this one, please, on your graph paper. All right, it says, example 4, the graph of f of x equals x squared is shown. Graph g of x equals negative f of, parentheses, 1/2 of x plus 6, close parentheses, minus 4. Copy that, I'll give you some time, and then we'll talk about it. All right, so by what I hear, we said that this negative 4 is going to take us where? Down. Okay, so draw your arrow there so that you know it's going that direction. How about the plus 6 here inside the parentheses? It's going left, so draw your arrow going left. All right. How about this negative right there? What would we say it's going to do? Flip. Okay, so we write flip. Okay. And of course, we learned that this 2 right here is going to make it what? Stretch. Okay, so I think the only thing we need to worry about in regards to points, since now we're going to do a stretch, is the 1/2 of x, right? So let's do that. Let's make a table. X f of 1/2 times x. And since this is a quadratic, I'm going to put a square. -2. I'm going to zoom in so that you guys can see the work, at least for the first one. Okay, so let's see. F of, we got 1/2 times -2 squared. So what is half of -2? -1. And what is -1 squared? 1. Next, -1. We got f of 1/2 times -1, and then you square it. So, what is 1/2 of -1? -1/2. We need to square that. So, negative times negative is a positive. What is 1 squared? 1. What is 2 squared? 4. Of course, the next one is 0, 0. Next one is 1. Got f of 1/2 times 1 squared. What is half of 1? 1/2. And what is 1/2 squared? 1/4. And our last value is 2. F of 1/2 times 2 squared. So this is 1 squared, which is 1. Okay, let's plot those. So we're going to plot what? -2, 1, -1, 1/4, 0, 0, 1, 1/4, and 2, 1. Okay, let me zoom out. Alright, let's do the first one. -2, 1. -2, 1. Okay. Next one. -1, 1/4. -1, 1/4 is about right there. 0, 0, 1, 1/4, 2, 1. Okay. However, so that covers this one. Before I start moving it around, do you guys want to move it to 6 left, 4 down, or do you want to do the flip first before we do the movement? What do you guys want to do? Flip? Okay, so then let me zoom in so we can see the flip, and I'm going to do the flip with green. There you go. So here we are at -2, 1, -1, 1/4, 0, 0, 1, 1/4, and 2, 1. So the flip would be, instead of positive 1/4, it would be what? Negative 1/4. Instead of being positive 1 over here, it's going to be what? Negative 1. 0, 0, 1, and negative 1/2. And instead of being positive 1, it's going to be negative 1. Okay, so now we can take this and move it to our new location, yes? And I'm going to do that in red, alright? There we go. In red. What would be our vertex for the new one? Our vertex is going to be what? Our vertex would be -6 and -4. So let's go to -6 and -4, which is right there. Yes? And then we just plot our other points. So we have 2 points next to the point of origin, or the vertex, at a quarter, right there and right there. And then these two are 2 steps to the left, 1 down, 2 steps to the right, 1 down. So 2 steps to the left, 1 down, 2 steps to the right, 1 down. And there is our G of X. How are we doing? Yes? From 1 to 5, how can we be okay with these? Yes? 5, 5, 5, 5, 4s, 5, 4s, okay. Alright, so what is the only thing that we introduced today? Today we introduced the B portion, yes? Alright, and just to reiterate on that, here it goes again, one more time. B, if we substitute a whole number, it stretches horizontally, or it compresses horizontally. And we need to do that on a separate table before we do any other transformation, okay? So, your home plate for tonight. Let's see. While you're packing up, here it goes. Look at this first one. Do you know how to graph f of x equals x squared? Yes. Do you know what to do with this one? Tell your neighbor what's going to happen to the original according to that. Yeah, Ricardo, what's going to happen here? 5 left and 8 down, that is correct. Okay. Look at this number 2. There is no H. Do you guys notice that? The K is going to take us up, but what is this going to do? Tell your neighbor what that's going to do. It's going to stretch vertically. Okay. Look at this one, number 3. You're like, this one looks weird, Mr. Q. I know, but you already did these, right? So how can we rewrite this? Tell your neighbor how to rewrite that. Yeah, the F has a 1 right here, yes? So it's 1 over 2. We can write that as a fraction for A. So if the A is 1/2, what is it going to do to the function? Compress it vertically. Okay. Look at this one, though. This one I'll leave for you to do by yourself. I want to see what you do, and this is what we did today. Have a good one, guys. Enjoy your home plate. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.